Good evening, you're watching The Buck Stops here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, our special focus is on Ajit Singh's bungalow politics. That's right, that agitation is continuing. It could also be called Occupy Delhi's Lutyens zones. Is this an agitation or is this a blackmail? Today, Jat leaders who support Ajit Singh's demand for his bungalow to be converted into a memorial for his father, Chaudhry Charan Singh, tried to organize a Mahapanchayat. They were stopped by the police from doing so. Ajit Singh has agreed to vacate his bungalow finally, but says the agitation to convert the house into a memorial for his father will continue. What is the home truth of memorial politics? Is this about legacy or is this about loot? Isn't this misusing the taxpayers' money? We'll be looking at the phenomenon of VIP squatters and memorial politics on the program today. Also coming up later on the program, live from New York, the excitement and the build-up for Narendra Modi's visit to New York and Washington.
All eyes of the Indian community will be on the meeting of these two leaders. There are 3.5 million Indians who have become residents and nearly 1.5 million who are living on visas or studying in this country. Interestingly, America is looking forward to India as a new partner in the region like Asia and also in BRICS.
All right, let's get started with our top story this evening. The bungalow politics of Ajit Singh. He wants his bungalow to be converted into a memorial for his father. Today, his supporters were out on the streets again in an attempt to organize what they called a Mahapanchayat. Ajit Singh has agreed to vacate the bungalow but says the agitation will continue. Let's also remind our viewers that this is not the first time a bungalow in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi has been converted into a memorial. Whether it's Jagjeevan Ram, Kanchi Ram or before that Indira Gandhi, government bungalows have often been used for this purpose. Is it time to ban government bungalows from being converted into memorials? Is this memorial politics about legacy or is it about loot, and that too looting the taxpayers' money? Let's introduce our panel this evening. With me in the studio we have Rakesh Tikait. He's with the Bharatiya Kisan Union and he was among the main organizers of that agitation of supporters of Ajit Singh, farmers and Jat leaders on the streets of Delhi today. We also have Captain Manoj Tayal. He's been a media advisor to Ajit Singh. Also joining us from Mumbai today is Shobha Dey, well-known author and columnist. From the Bahujan Samaj Party, we're joined by Sudhindra Bhadoria, leader of the BSP. From the BJP, we're joined by its senior leader Sudhanshu Trivedi, joining us from Lucknow tonight. And we'll shortly be joined by Harish Salve as well on this panel. Now, before I get the politicians in, Shobha, let me start with you. The fact of the matter is, right now the media attention is on Ajit Singh. But is Ajit Singh justified in turning around and saying it isn't just about my father? You, after all, gave Meera Kumar's bungalow a 25-year time period, which is a long time to be converted into a memorial. There's the Indira Gandhi Memorial. There's Mayawati, who converted 3 bungalows into a memorial for Kanchi Ram. So why do you believe the media is being harsher on Ajit Singh than it has been on other leaders?
Now, I'm so glad you've given this perspective, Barkha, because to some extent he is justified in saying what he is saying. And before all of this happened, of course, acres and acres of prime property in and around Delhi has been reserved for the Nehru Gandhi family, and without any protests in the past. But I have a take on this, that when we were a young new country, we needed memorials, we needed statues, we needed sthans, we needed to create an iconography, we needed to some way remind a young nation about its heroes. But in 2014, this memorial madness is completely, it's ludicrous. And especially in Ajit Singh's case, I think why everybody is responding so in such a hostile manner is because A, he's a failed leader. He hasn't done very much for his own people. This seems like not just opportunistic, but like you said earlier, it's not about legacy, it's about loot. Yeah. It's about bungalow grabbing. Why should Charan Singh not have this kind of a memorial? Sure, why not? I'm saying it's time to question memorials per se.
In general.
And we should, in general, we should tell ourselves we're in the modern contemporary world where such things have no place. We don't need them. Because where does one draw the line? Where does one stop? Every special interest group is going to then be lobbying for a bungalow for their father, their grandfather, their uncle, whosoever.
That's a very good point.
The Kisans who will ask for something. Yes, exactly. So we have to come up with a national policy not just victimize Ajit Singh, but come up with a cohesive policy. Maybe even in retrospect, in 2000, we did have that in place. Let's go forward and get that through. No more memorials.
No more memorials. Sudhanshu Trivedi, when the NDA was in power,
Yeah.
okay, the cabinet did approve, did make such a proposal. Would you support, now that your party is in government again, no more memorials, no more use of government land, of government bungalows for anybody, whether it's Chaudhry Charan Singh, whether it's Kanshi Ram, whether it's a member of the Nehru Gandhi family, whether it's a BJP leader tomorrow?
Actually, if you look into the present circumstances, particularly the example of Ajit Singh, in abstract sense, it looks something different. But if you look at the entire perspective, the question arises, why this question arises only when Ajit Singh has asked for Chaudhry Charan Singh's memorial? We respect and we are having utmost respect for Chaudhry Charan Singh's contribution to the Indian politics and particularly for the rural and peasantry classes of India. But who has started this situation? It was the Nehru Gandhi family. I would like to remind, as per an RTI, there are 450 center state schemes, institutions and buildings named after just Nehru Gandhi family. These are the traditions, in my opinion, which starts with the dynastic fiefdom mindset of political parties which try to capture each and everything in the name of their own
Fair
family.
enough, but would you support a ban? Would you support a ban? Would you support a ban on all memorials today, Sudhanshu Trivedi? A further ban, a future, you know, like no more
As far
memorials
as
as
the
Shobha Dey
memorials are
said.
concerned,
Yes.
yes, I agree to what Shobha Dey has said in personal capacity, but as far as the memorials and bungalows are concerned, it has not to do with a single political party or the government in the power or not.
Okay.
In my opinion, there should be a proper consensus in the all political parties and some conclusion should be drawn that the residential bungalow should not be used for this purpose or some strict guidelines should have been laid down.
Let me get Harish
Then
Salve.
only this problem can be solved. Otherwise,
Yes. Yes, I've understood what you're saying. You're saying that you need a
if we
consensus
go by
between parties. You
the
need a
mindset like
consensus.
Indira Gandhi is giving Bharat Ratna being on the chair
Yes. Yes. Harish Salve.
and Mayawati raising her statues being on the chair.
I will put that to the BSP leader in just a moment. But Harish Salve, Shobha Dey says it's time to say no more memorials. Otherwise, there will be no end to this.
Barkha, I think it's time to say no more feudalism in India. You know, our constitution was framed in 1950. We are in 2014. We are still a quasi-feudal society. These are the symptoms. The disease is feudalism. See, Gandhiji stood a class apart. Gandhiji was a person who fought for freedom and never ever took office. Starting from Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, that was the first mistake. He was the first Prime Minister of India. He may have done a wonderful job, but he was the elected Prime Minister of India. And I don't think we should start building memorials to people who have served us well.
Yes.
Their acts, their deeds will stand in our memory. And I don't think anybody has a right to say on public property there should be this memorial where the memory of somebody is subserved. But these are all symptoms of feudalism. You have a memorial to the Queen and to the Queen's family and to the King and to the King's family. In India, you have to the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's family and so on.
Okay, let me take this to Rakesh Tikait, whose people were out on the streets today. He's a spokesperson of the Bharatiya Kisan Union. Tikait साहब, यहाँ पर बात की जा रही है कि क्या जरूरत है इस मेमोरियल की. चौधरी चरण सिंह की आप बात करते हैं तो एक एयरपोर्ट है उत्तर प्रदेश में, वो उनके नाम में है. किसान घाट है, वो एक तरह से उनको कमेमोरेट करता है. मेरठ में एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, वो भी चौधरी चरण सिंह के नाम से है. क्या जरूरत पड़ी आपको कि एक गवर्नमेंट का बंगलो, उसके लिए आप लोग सड़क पे उतर आए, उसके लिए आपने ये भी धमकी दी कि हम दिल्ली का पानी का सप्लाई काट देंगे? कैसे जस्टिफाई करते हैं आप?
एक बात बताओ, अगर बंगला मिल जाएगा, ये 87 में जब चौधरी चरण सिंह जी की डेथ हुई, उस टाइम पे गवर्नमेंट के अधिकारियों से राजघाट की जब बात हुई, उसी टाइम पे इसकी भी बात हुई थी, दोनों चीजों की बात हुई थी. टिकैत साहब के टाइम की बात है, व्याज है नहीं, लेकिन बहुत लोग उस टाइम पे साथ में थे, हम भी थे, और दोनों चीजों की बातें हुई थी. अगर हम किसान घाट की बात करें, किसान घाट भी 5 साल बाद में सरकारी रिकॉर्डों में दर्ज हुआ।
पर अब तो है ना, अभी एक और की क्या जरूरत है?
तो क्यों जरूरत नहीं है?
क्यों है? पहले आप हमारे दर्शकों को आप समझाइए इसकी क्या आवश्यकता है। व्हाई इज इट नेसेसरी?
उनका स्मारक उसमें बनाएंगे, उनका
किसान घाट भी स्मारक है
उनका संग्रहालय बनाएंगे, उनकी स्मृति उसमें रहेगी। एक 12 नंबर कोठी से एक किसानों का पूर्ण रूप से उससे लगाव है। चौधरी साहब उसमें रहे थे, देश की किसानों की।
पर साहब इस तरह की धमकीबाजी की हम दिल्ली का पानी का सप्लाई काट देंगे,
तो सप्लाई 2 घंटे तो काटी
ना, तो ब्लैकमेल हुआ।
नहीं, ब्लैकमेल अगर महात्मा गांधी एक मुट्ठी वो कर वो कानून तोड़ सकते हैं, वो कोई ट्रेन भर के आए थे तो इसका मतलब महात्मा गांधी गुंडागर्दी करते थे क्या?
तो आप अपने आप को महात्मा गांधी से कंपेयर
क्यों नहीं करेंगे कंपेयर? हमने ये दिखाया है कि जो कया है वो करा है, और हमने पब्लिक के लिए फिर वो पानी खोल भी दिया, क्योंकि पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी है।
I want to get Shobha Day and Harish Salve, and then I'll come to you, Captain Tahil. Shobha,
I'm just shocked.
Yeah.
See, how can he even talk about Mahatma Gandhi in the same breath and same context? He was the father of the nation. He gave us freedom. You cannot say that you equate it and say that he was. Why shouldn't he compare? There's no comparison. I was about to also add that if anybody deserves that kind of kind of prominence across India, there's only one such person. There's only one father of the nation. Like Harish rightfully pointed out, that he didn't hold any elected office, and he certainly deserves those statues. He certainly deserves a memorial, because it reminds us every single day that we owe him enormous gratitude. We owe him a debt. He gave us not just freedom, he restored pride in us as a country, as a nation. He gave us an identity. So these people, if they want to do something for the Kisans, why not start hospitals and schools in Charan Singh's name? Wouldn't that be a much more valuable contribution? Why don't they worry about...
Good question.
Yeah, why don't they do that? That would be something that's...
You see,
Harish, yes, Harish.
Barkha, the point very simply is this. They don't understand that Mahatma Gandhi's memorial stands not for his role in India alone. Students of history know the importance of what Mahatma Gandhi did in non-violent revolution. It redefined the paradigm of how freedom is to be achieved, and he did it against a military power. It set the path for so many other countries.
Yes.
To get freedom from colonialism.
Yes.
And it is ironic that in a feudal assertion saying, for my father whom I think was a great person, or for our leader whom we think is a great person, we will grab public property. I think there could not be a bigger insult to Gandhiji.
Absolutely.
He freed the world from the yoke of colonialism. We are now getting into another kind of yoke of domestic colonialism. The point is this: if I feel strongly that my father or my grandfather or my leader deserves adulation, I will collect money from his followers and build a monument, rather than insist on public property being made available for private purpose. And I agree with the person who says that this bad habit, this feudal habit, has been inculcated, I am sorry to say, by the Nehru-Gandhi clan. I mean, there is no running away.
Yes, so Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP was making that point. But first to you, Captain Manoj Tahil. Yeah, the question is this, that if it is necessary to build a memorial for Chaudhry Charan Singh, why don't his supporters collect money, build a hospital, build a college, build a memorial in Baghpat if you want, in Ajit Singh's constituency?
You have a point. But let me first correct few things which are going on, you know. Firstly, the words which are being used are slightly harsh, they don't justify, alright.
Which word is not
like
justified?
Suppose a loot, like you said.
But isn't it?
No, one sec, just let me complain, let me just give it. Or the lady there saying it's a failed leader. Okay, he could have lost elections. So let's not categorize and let's not term things whatever. That's part one of it. Part two, as far as the memorial is concerned, what Rakesh was saying, it is basically the sentiment attached. Right.
Why does it have to be on public property?
Right. You have a point on public. You should have one, either have it for nobody or have it for one person, or then why do selective?
That's right.
Might. At the end of it all, if they don't agitate, if
you're saying if it can happen for Jagjeevan Ram and Kanshi Ram, why not for Chaudhry Charan Singh?
We are talking about one sector. The point is, it's might is right, right? if 10,000 people today, you said that they're going to cut off electricity, they're going to face criminal cases or they're going to face cases against that. Point is having a memorial. If larger context had this demand for memorial come in forcefully before he was, before he won the elections or he lost the elections, it would have been in a different context.
You're saying have the same rule for all political leaders, and there I think most of us would say just stop all memorials. Now, here's the question for you. 1 minute. Here's a question for you, Sudhindra Badoria. Mayawati took 3 government bungalows and built them, merged them into a memorial for Kanchi Ram. So, is your party in any position to criticize Ajit Singh today?
Well, let me first tell you the principle behind memorials, because there is a lot of ideas coming and a lot of memorials being questioned, and particularly ours as well. You see, there globally, if you see, there are memorials. You go to US, you will see a Lincoln Memorial, you will see a Thomas Jefferson Memorial, you will see a Washington Memorial. You go to China, you will see memorials there to the USSR, erstwhile, you will see memorials there as well. Similarly, in India, people, societies worship their heroes, and in this country, the BSP, there was a will written by Manavar Kashiram that there should be a memorial in which Mayawati's statue should be also there.
Why does it have to be on public property? Why does it have to be on property paid by the taxpayer?
1 second, it was the will, and let me tell you,
Is
this
there a
nation
Clinton
stands
memorial?
on the
Is
shoulders
there a
of the
George Bush
Dalits and
memorial?
the poor of this country. Let me complete,
Is
Barkha,
there-
if you will let me allow, then I will just finish in 1 minute.
Okay.
This nation stands on the shoulders of the Dalits and the poor and the OBCs, and in history, starting from Buddha, coming up till Manavar Kashiram was one person who politically empowered the Dalits.
But you
And
haven't
it was
told
his
me
dream that
why
this
this has to be
memorial
on
should
public
dedicated.
property. Why does it have to be on public
Well,
property?
as far as
Please
that is
commemorate your
concerned,
leaders in any way you
well,
want to.
The public property, because these are the people who created, who struggled, who brought freedom, who brought democracy, and the constitution was
I need to go to-
prepared under the chairmanship
I
of
think
Baba
Shobha
Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar.
I think Shobha is wanting to
Can't
respond,
this
and then
nation-
Sudhanshu Trivedi. 1 minute. Shobha Day, go ahead. Shobha, go ahead.
Yeah, Barkha, the important thing is it's not even followers who need to contribute to create these memorials. These people are rich enough, whether it's Mayawati or it's Ajit Singh. Why don't they use their own resources, their own money, and create these memorials, buy the property for Christ's sake? No one will object. Pay a market value for it.
That we are doing,
Create
Shobha
whatever
Day,
you
we
want.
don't need any
Create
sermons
a
for it. That
memorial.
we are
Why
already
should
doing
the-
in Delhi
why
and
should it
all
be on public
across,
property?
wherever we have
Why should
our
followers
resources.
pay for it?
That we don't need any sermons, we are
Use
doing
your
it.
own funds,
But as
and
a
by all means,
responsibility of the
by all
state,
means create statues.
responsibility of a state. The state does not belong to the elite in this country alone.
Okay.
The state does not belong to the elite alone.
It doesn't belong to
belongs
the
those people who are
others
toiled
either.
in this
It
country as well.
belongs
But
to
you
all
know-
equally.
But you know, Mr. Badoria, before you convert this into a debate around elitism versus non-elitism, politicians in this country, are they elite? The politicians are the elite. Now, Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Politicians may be elite, so are the people in other walks of national life, whether they are
Sudhanshu
businessmen, whether
Trivedi,
they
do
are
you agree
super
with
elite,
Mr. Badoria?
We are not grabbing public property. That's the difference.
Sudhanshu
We are not
Trivedi.
insisting on
Neither
memorials
are we
being
grabbing
created at
anybody's
someone else's
property. We
expense.
are not also grabbing anybody's property.
It
is
is
the
public
state,
property.
it is the government
It is
which has
public
done
property.
it. You ask the UPA government.
I have a
it is
suggestion.
the UPA
Okay,
government which took a decision.
Now
It
you
is the
both made your
UPA
point.
government which
Mr.
did it.
Badoria, now bus. Now first Sudhanshu
And let
Trivedi,
me
then
tell
Harish
you,
Salve.
in
1
U-
minute.
in UP
Sir, you've made your point. You've made your point. Sudhanshu Trivedi.
One shot, 1 second. In UP, when the Dalit memorials were made, it was a unanimous resolution passed in the UP Assembly, where BJP, where the Congress, where the Samajwadi Party was also there.
Okay, Sudhanshu Trivedi, has every party eyed a political constituency while clearing these memorials on public property?
Of course.
Barkha, actually there is a problem of mindset. We are having respect for Charan Singh and also respect for Kachi Ram, what Sudhin Badoria ji was saying. But if you look at the background, India is the only country in the world, there is the highest number of institutions in the name of any one family. And not only this, whether it is Mulayam Singh, Congress, Mayawati, everybody is capturing the government properties in the name of their institutions which politically suits them. Yes, of course, there should be no comparison with the leaders. Gandhiji stands apart in the rest of the Indian politics, but who has followed Gandhi? Gandhi's will of disbanding Congress, forget about where is Swaraj, where is Gram Swaraj,
I would like
where
to
is
Yes.
Adi. Even the Ram Raj has been totally ridiculed by the Congress, so forget about that. Now I will come to what Sudhindra Bhadoria ji was saying. Okay, I consider that Kashi Ram ji was having a will, but does Kashi Ram ji, did Kashi Ram ever said that Mayawati should come out in public and say, मैं देवी हूं, मेरे ऊपर चढ़ावा चढ़ाओ? One mindset which Indira Gandhi says, Indira is India and India is Indira. Then Mayawati says, मैं देवी हूं, मुझे चढ़ाओ. Kashi Ram, despite having Ram in his name, never said that he tries to become God. And Mayawati, though she is having Maya in her name, but she said, Devi hu mujhe chadhawa chadhao.
Okay, I think
This
I'll
is the
allow Mr.
typical
Bhadoria to a
feudalistic
quick
mindset
response.
which has created a lot of harm in Indian politics.
Okay, Sudhindra Bhadoria.
In Delhi, in Delhi, let me tell you, whether you go to in front of the ITO, there is the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya mark. The NDA government has given enough bungalows to the RSS institutions, to the Hindu institutions, and these are all government properties. Let me also tell you that don't be holier than thou. The BJP
Sudhindra ji,
spokesman,
there is a difference
he's not,
between giving institutions who are
telling
working.
his own story. Why these lands
And
were
the
given?
personal-
Why these lands were given to these institutions?
But isn't there a difference in giving land to the living and land in the memory of the dead who are not even around?
Well-
Harish Salve, let Harish Salve
I had a
respond.
suggestion
And
to
we give
make.
divine status only to the
The
motherland,
original
not
sin.
to any other leader.
Harish.
The original sin is Teen Murti Bhavan, right? And now everybody says if there is one for Nehru, then there should be one for Mrs. Gandhi, then there should be one for Rajiv Gandhi, then there should be one for Chaudhary Charan Singh ji, then there should be one for whoever else follows in that office. So let us convert Teen Murti into the memorial of Indian Prime Ministers.
Good idea.
And all important Indian leaders should be put there. Otherwise,
idea.
This whole mindset of memorialism.
Good
I mean,
idea.
surely we are in 2014.
Yeah.
We have to get over these ideas. And by the way, the gentleman who spoke of Thomas Jefferson,
Yes.
he should know that those are memorials to the founding fathers of the US Constitution. These are the founding fathers, as they are
for
called.
them, they are
And it was
founding
gonna come-
fathers. For the Dalits, Ambedkar is the founding father for us.
Right. There's a little difference between history and rhetoric. So let's stay with history and let's eschew rhetoric. for a
I want
minute.
to put this to Rakesh Tikait. Tikait साहब यहाँ पर बोला जा रहा है कि क्योंकि ये लड़ाई चलती जाएगी कि अगर आपने कांशी राम के लिए बनाया, जगजीवन राम के लिए बनाया, इंदिरा गांधी के लिए बनाया, तो आप चरण सिंह के लिए भी बनाइए. हरीश साल्वे साहब कहते हैं कि भाई एक जगह सारे प्रधानमंत्री के मेमोरियल कॉमन बना दीजिए. क्या जरूरत है आपको कि पब्लिक जमीन आप जाया करें?
नहीं, बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. देखो, इसका विवाद एक चीज से खत्म हो सकता है.
किससे खत्म हो सकता है?
खत्म ये हो सकता है कि जितनों की बनी है उनसे भी वो प्रॉपर्टी ले लो, आप
वापस ले लो,
वापसी ले लो.
फिर?
और जो बीजेपी वाले जो कह रहे हैं, आप इनका ऑफिस भी देख लो, सबसे ज्यादा इंक्रोचमेंट इन्होंने ही कर रखा
और
है.
ऑफिस, फंक्शनल ऑफिस, और जो
मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, बात तो सुन लो ना
लिविंग और
पहले.
डेड में कोई फर्क नहीं है.
मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, आप सबसे ले लो, जितने स्मारक बने हैं, जितने ट्रस्टों को दिए हुए, सबसे ले लो आप उनसे.
बिल्कुल
सबसे लो प्रॉपर्टी.
Absolutely right.
आप करो, लेकिन ये बीजेपी को कानून बनाना पड़ेगा कि सबसे लेनी पड़ेगी. आप लो और आगे कानून बना दो कि किसी को दे नहीं, और एक जगह बना दो मेमोरियल सबको.
पर सड़क पर आप लोग क्यों उतर आए?
अच्छा, अपनी बात कहने का कैसा क्या तरीका है जी? प्रधानमंत्री से मिले, टाइम नहीं देते.
इसमें पॉलिटिकल कैलकुलेशन है. आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि एक जाट वोट इसमें जिंदा
जाट का आप नाम क्यों लेते हो? जाट कहाँ है? हमने ना अजीत सिंह की लड़ाई हम कह रहे, ना हम जाट की लड़ाई कह रहे. आप जाट क्यों कहते हो? किसान जाट थोड़ा है ना. चौधरी चरण सिंह जी जाट थे, वे तो किसानों के लीडर थे. जाट कहां से आ गए इसमें? इसमें तो
पर आप मुझे बताइए, आपने किसानों की बात की, शोभा देने का, किसानों की जरूरत, आप पैसा इकट्ठा करके एक अस्पताल बना दीजिए, आप एक स्कूल बना दीजिए, आप एक कॉलेज बना
तो
दीजिए.
दे रहे हैं.
एक खाली खोखला बिल्डिंग बना के क्या मिलेगा?
हमने तो 125 एकड़, जब 125 बीघे 25 एकड़ जमीन अकेले मुजफ्फरनगर में मैंने डोनेट करवाई है किसानों से.
तो अब इसकी क्या
इसकी जरूरत ये है कि इस
क्या?
कोठी से भावनाएं किसानों की जुड़ी हुई है, इसलिए जरूरत है.
शोभा डे, farmers sentiments are attached. It's sentimental.
No, unfortunately, it has nothing to do with Kisans. This is politics at its dirtiest. You cannot do this. You cannot cut off water supply, whether it's for 2 hours or 2 minutes. It is something that in a civilized democracy you cannot hold, whether it's a city or a town or any, to ransom in this manner. Where does this end? This is not called satyagraha. So I object strongly to this person trying to equate that protest. There's a way to protest. There's a way to ask for demands. So I'm sorry, they're not going to garner much sympathy if they're going to adopt tactics of this kind. But I do agree, let's do away, and even with a retrospective effect, let's really have a cohesive national policy about memorials, past, present and future.
Okay, Captain Tayal, would that be
and
acceptable?
let's stick to that.
Would that be acceptable? Is it about a double standard that Ajit Singh is protesting, or his supporters are protesting?
See, what has come out is there are 450 whatever the memorials or schemes
But
in the name of Gandhi.
also has
All right,
three
one second.
that I can count: an airport, a university, a
Right.
Kisan Ghat.
So
Yeah.
do we get all those 450 back?
That's
like
not
what has come
justified.
out? You say father of the nation.
but
Tiketji
you can't
raised the point
justify
that he
one
was the
thing
father
with
of the nation.
another.
Equating, see, you cannot equate X Y with Y.
Yeah.
You know, because he contributed more, I didn't contribute
But
more.
surely Mahatma
Because
Gandhi or Baba Sahib Ambedkar are founding fathers of this country.
they
which is
might,
slightly
you
different
might call
from
them.
political
The
leaders.
government of India still does not call
They were not
Mahatma Gandhi
political
father of the
leaders.
nation, right? Officially, it's just how you look at it.
Are you saying that
So
there is
in-
equivalence between all
No,
these
no,
leaders?
they cannot be equivalents. But suppose they have demanded, the farmers are demanding, like Lady Seer says that it's politics as it does. Maybe whatever you might have a viewpoint. The fact is, if these guys have a demand, justify the demand in whatever manner. Have it for all or none.
Have it for all or none. Sudhindra Bhadoria, do you agree? Have it for all or none.
Let the government call a all-party meeting, let there be a meeting and where this serious issue should be discussed. It cannot be discussed by one person over here.
But you know what, Sudhanshu Trivedi, when that all-party meeting happens, every party will do a quick math on the electoral constituency
You know-
it needs to keep happy. Harish?
Barkha, you know what is going on?
Yeah.
The same thing we saw with the Z security.
Yeah.
When we took the matter to Supreme Court,
Yeah.
when the figures came out and when the truth came out, it was this, that your Z security was a measure of your importance and your significance. Today, if you don't have a memorial, your leader doesn't have a marker. And we have created this. We have created these symbols. I think in 2014 there is no harm, let's revisit. It is one thing to make a mistake, it is another thing to say I have made a mistake, I cannot correct it. Otherwise, where will this end? I mean, on a lighter vein, I can tell you, my father lived 25 years in 32 Aurangzeb Road. He was the senior most Christian member of parliament. Then should you have a memorial to him there? I mean, where is this going to end?
Where is it going to
Please,
end?
you know, this culture of memorials must stop. This culture of creating symbols, because the moment there are symbols, then you say, why was Chaudhary Charan Singh ji a smaller leader than Kanchiram? Or were the two of them a lesser leader than Mrs. Gandhi?
Yeah.
Or were they lesser leader than Nehru? So, which is an absolutely correct argument. That only demonstrates the original sin.
Yeah.
And I think it's the time has about come where we should say, all right, if that is the original mistake, we will rectify it now. Democracy is all about correcting and course correction.
Sudhanshu
And I
Trivedi,
think
would the
it's time we
BJP be
did it
open to accepting that all memorials should be merged into one? You can have a kind of Prime Minister's memorial, so that this debate is ended once and for all.
Whatever idea which emerges, if all political parties come with, even if the slight consensus, I am not saying with the absolute consensus, then definitely the government will consider so that this type of problem may not arise. But I would like to say one thing. It is being said that take the land from RSS trust and other things. I would like to remind the RSS run institutions are standing far apart than other institutions. Vidya Bharati, which runs the schools, there is the only institution in the entire world which is having 26,000 schools. No other institution, single institution in the world is having.
Okay.
Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram is the only institution other than Christian missionaries which are funded from abroad, which works in tribal areas. और मैं महेंद्र सिंह टिकैत जी से कहना चाहता हूं कि मैं यूपीए सरकार के डाटा बता रहा हूं। कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र, वो किसान नेता हैं जो कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र काम करते हैं। टॉप 10 कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रों की सूची बनाई गई 2005 में, जिसमें कि आरएसएस से जुड़े हुए दीनदयाल शोध संस्थान के 4 कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र चारों टॉप 10 में थे।
राकेश टिकैत साहब वो कह रहे हैं
This is my
कि
humble request. Don't try to equate
आप आरएसएस
the excellence and the competence of RSS run institutions just for the
okay,
sake of political scoring.
pitch. Now let him respond. टिकैत साहब
जी
ये इनका आपने भी बात की कि भाई आरएसएस की संस्थाओं को भी दिया गया है। वो कह रहे हैं हम तो काम करते हैं।
तो हम नहीं काम कर रहे, देश में किसान काम नहीं कर रहा।
मेमोरियल में काम
एक
तो नहीं
बार
होता।
देश में किसान काम नहीं कर रहा। अगर किसान तो कुछ भी कहता है तो उसको अगर दिल्ली में आएगा तो उसको हंगामा कहते हैं। हमने गन्ना दिया उसका पैसा नहीं दिया, हम अगर मांगेंगे तो हम हंगामा कहते हैं। देश से किसान से बड़ा कौन काम कर रहा है देश में? हम कितने स्कूल चलाते हैं,
अंदर तो काम नहीं होता।
नहीं
हम स्कूल
देखो उन किसानों की भावनाएं जुड़ी हुई है। जो किसान अपनी जमीन डोनेट करता है, जो किसान स्कूल बनाता है, हमने बिजली घरें बनवा के सरकारों को दिए, बिल्डिंग बनवा के दी, जमीन खरीद के दी। ये नहीं है कि हमें जमीन का लालच है, वो नहीं है। ये अपने दिमाग से निकाल देना चाहिए इनको।
एक सरकारी बंगले में मेमोरियल बना के किसानों की
अगर यहाँ ना बने हुए हो तो उसको हम मत बने हुए हैं ना।
बात वही आ जाती है कि बाकी
आप इनको कानून बनाकर सबको हटा दो, एक जगह ले आओ, हम भी नहीं मांगेंगे। बात ये हम जमीन ने डोनेट हमने की है बहुत।
सुधींद्र भटोरिया,
अगर इनमें ताकत है तो बनाओ इनको।
Do you support Ajit Singh given that Kanchiram Memorial occupies 3 bungalows? Do you support Ajit Singh's agitation?
You see, as far as that memorial is concerned, it was the UPA government which decided it.
No, do you
and the
support
UPA
Ajit
government
Singh's
must have
agitation? Do
decided
you support
in
Ajit
this
Singh's
wisdom.
agitation?
As far as Ajit Singh is concerned, he is saying that he has walked out of the house. The Bharati Kisan Union is protesting. They are demanding that it is the responsibility of the present NDA government either to endorse it or reject it.
So you're not taking a position. Shobha Day and Harish Salve, you get the last word. Shobha, go ahead.
Well, I think something very important has been raised tonight, and we have Ajit Singh to thank for it, because till this agitation started, we hadn't really thought all that seriously about memorials and statues and bungalow grabs and memorial madness and so on. That it has been tabled, that there's going to be a national debate on the way forward is really something we should thank Ajit Singh for. But I agree with the gentleman who said all or none.
Yeah.
Yes, that's only fair. If what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it doesn't work for Ajit Singh, it shouldn't work for Kanchiram or anybody else.
Good point.
And I'm all for reviewing all the memorials and taking a decision from this moment on.
Harish, very quickly, do you see
reminding ourselves that we are in the 21st century.
Harish, do you see any political party actually drafting a policy to do away with memorials?
Never. Question doesn't arise, Barkha.
So then, how does
you should know what is going on. Somebody told me off the record that because Supreme Court frowned on red lights, we have completely stopped using red lights. We are now shifting to amber lights. So this mindset is not going to change. This mindset of politics being for loaves and fishes is not going to change. Our political leaders at some point have to come alive to the fact that democracy is a very fragile virtue.
Yeah.
If you create this kind of heartburn in democracy, you will have people who will say, today I will squat on the streets, tomorrow I will stop water, day after I will cut power lines, because the stakes for this kind of populism become higher and higher and higher. And I just want to close by saying the gentleman who quote Gandhiji should remember Gandhiji used to go on fast. He didn't prevent others from drinking water when he used to protest.
Good point. We'll have to leave it there. Harish Salve, Shobha Day, Rakesh Tikait, Captain Tayal, Sudhanshu Trivedi. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on the Buck Stops here. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, my colleague Rahul Srivastav joins us live from New York on all the excitement that is building up already for Narendra Modi's arrival in New York in just about 3 days from now.
Thank you, Barkha. We are in the middle of a cafeteria in New York, and right now what we can say in New York and in the United States of America, there is a huge slice of India perhaps waiting for Narendra Modi. But that will be other side of this break. We'll be joined by some guests who will tell us what exactly lies next as far as Narendra Modi's first visit as Prime Minister to the United States of America. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the United Nations General Assembly on the 27th at 10:30 in the morning. great amount of anxiety, and also there is tremendous enthusiasm as far as the Indian community is concerned, and also the Indian leadership which is already here, primarily because this is the first time Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing a kind of a platform where 193 nations are going to be sitting together listening to him. But on the sidelines of the UNGA speech by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the climate change meeting called by the Secretary General has been raising some amount of anxiety for the Indian delegation here. There is a certain amount of displeasure at the fact that countries like India and China, though participating through their ministers, the top leaders like Narendra Modi and also their leadership have not really joined in. Earlier in the day, I caught up with Mr. Prakash Javadekar, the Environment Minister, and this is what he had to say about how India is trying to build a consensus, use this climate change meeting called by the Secretary General at the United Nations, and also about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. Beyond the climate change meeting here for which we are here, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, what are the big benefits that India is looking forward to as far as his first visit, say even to the UN, and also his meeting with President Barack Obama is concerned?
I think all the three events are very important. UN meeting is important for it's a world body and we recognize it. We need our place, rightful place in Security Council, as well as we need our place, and we have to declare that yes, India has arrived, and therefore even world is waiting for a leader who has won the largest democratic mandate, and therefore people are eager to see him, listen him, and I think it will be a big event in UN, and he will make their very progressive policies put on the table so that world can have a satisfaction that here is a leader, here is a country which is talking all pro things, pro poor, pro progress, pro and not a regressive.
One last question to you, that there are a lot of irritants between India and USA right now. The visa issues, the nuclear liability and several others. Do you think that in the absence of a big ticket announcement in the meeting between Mr. Modi and Mr. Barack Obama, at least there will be an expectation that these irritants can be removed and a future road can be created?
I think this meeting between, two meetings between Obama and one-on-one with Modi ji are very important, and America is also looking forward and we are also looking forward, because we believe that Indo-US relationship is a strategic relationship benefiting mutually, and therefore we need each other's cooperation on a strong wicket, and that foundation will be laid by Modi ji in his visit. And third dimension of his visit is the Indian diaspora, which is greeting him. It's a terrific event. Nobody could imagine a foreign leader coming on US soil and holding medicine like a rock star or somebody, but where the tickets are already sold, and now more people will be in Times Square to see on screen what is happening in Madison Square 2 blocks away. So this is how there will be a biggest political rally in a way, or a biggest reception to any foreign leader given, political leader of a foreign country in America. That's the goodwill. That's the goodwill he has created, and world is watching him with much hope that he will deliver the promises we are making. A new India, India that has arrived, an India that is very positive towards international cooperation.
Thank you, Mr. Javadekar. We know that you have to leave Times Square very soon and hit the lanes of Maharashtra for an election. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you. I have been meeting several Gujaratis in New York over the last few days. Though there are 3.5 million Indians who have turned citizen here, 1.5 million who are here on studies or visa or some other reason. But there is a very strong, large contingent of Gujaratis, and they told me something very interesting, that the Gujarati, why he has succeeded here in New York or in the United States of America, because he puts his head down and quietly looks at one thing, that he has to earn money and he has to earn a living. And I have Mr. Zafar Sareshwala, a businessman who knows Narendra Modi, has worked closely with me, and Ashish Kumar Chauhan, who is from the BSc, and these are the people who are being called the money people, who will know what exactly Narendra Modi is really looking for as far as his first visit as Prime Minister to New York is concerned. Zafar, first to you. There is no big ticket announcement which we can see right now on the horizon. There could be, and although what we can say, there are a lot of irritants. You know, there have been elements like the visa issue is there, the IPR issues, the civil nuclear liability. There has been some kind of a lull in the relationship after the high of 2008, the nuclear Indo-US civil nuclear deal. How is Prime Minister Narendra Modi going to utilize this opportunity? Because after all, the Gujarati in him knows that he has to bring in monies.
See, you know, big ticket investments, big manufacturing companies to India, they are, you know, part of things which will follow, or those are the things which will fall in place. But the most important thing about Mr. Modi is not only this visit, he is known to convert enemies into friends. And that I have seen, I mean, in 11 years. Anybody who was a fiercest critic of Modi, his arch enemy, the moment they meet Modi, they convert into his friends.
But there is a issue here. He was denied a visa, or his visa was revoked by the United States government. It is the mandate of the public of India, people of India, which has changed a lot of things. In this scenario, what is he looking forward in terms of investments? What kind of investments will he be looking for? Or are there certain specific areas which are targeted areas which you would like to focus on?
See, this is the beginning. I mean, Mr. Modi is coming here and meeting, you know, to create a rapport with the US administration. This is the beginning of it. And then the next on the agenda, the make in India. And the best place for that is United States, because US has some very large manufacturing companies who had once upon a time invested in China. But you know, China with the aging population and all that, they need to look at India. And Mr. Modi has already created that aura of him by, you know, doing what he has done in Gujarat. So these companies would be for them to come to India. Secondly, there are large pension funds, institutional investors who are sitting on trillions of dollars.
Why should they come to India?
Because see, India is one place where there is going to be tremendous growth. I mean, one is the India's large population, growing middle class. And now, you know, with Modi coming to India, the biggest thing with Modi is that we had lost this kind of confidence. There was crisis of confidence. Now with Mr. Modi coming to the helm of the affairs, that built up of confidence is there. His governance, his model of growth, his model of growth in the economy. Once that happens, everything else will fall in place.
Ashish, I would like to bring in here. You see, the India as a large market was always there. If you see the last few years, Indians had the money, but they were sitting on it. Why do you share this euphoria that because in the last 3 months, we have not seen the kind of reform kickstart that was needed? If you see, the insurance sector was being talked about as one of the first early reform processes. That has not happened. That is caught in Parliament. There is still a select committee looking at it. Do you think that the markets will need something, you know, at least one driving engine to start something which can be called the revival?
In fact, I think the election and the results itself has been that moment of kick-starting the economy, because the world was looking at two countries very seriously over last 1 year. One was Brazil, another is India. India has given a huge mandate to the Prime Minister Modi and his government, while as the Brazil has become very sort of doubtful in its mandate to the administration. And that has basically created doubts in the people's minds. While as today morning itself, I was sitting with one of the largest institutional investors in India, and he said that we were looking at these two countries seriously, and it's in India's moment now. We need to seize the moment. And it's not
for somebody like you, what has changed on the ground? The euphoria of a mandate cannot last very long. When it comes to economics, a government needs to build certain very strong ground rules, or groundwork has to be done, so that on which the investors and all other players, maybe like all of them can build upon. You see, the societies can build upon, the foundation needs to come. Where is that coming from? Do you see that? What are the two at least items which you will expect should be done in the next few months, so that all the euphoria and the support which is generated in places like United States of America will materialize?
In fact, the active Yojana is a phenomenal success, and in a sense it's building on that background. It's creating that background for people to come and participate in Indian economy. India is basically a very young country, out of 1.3 billion people, around 50% are below age 25. And they need to be brought into the mainstream, into the financial inclusion process, and that's what is happening. And similarly, in terms of from the foreign investors' perspective, they are looking at kickstarting of the projects which had kind of stalled, the large projects of ports, the mining, airports, electricity.
But what about, say, for example, India's stand at the WTO regarding the trade facilitation agreement? With India going back on that, somewhere before the United States open its purse strings for India for investment, the US will like to have an agreement in place in terms of the TFA. What about these kind of minor irritants? Don't you think all these also needs to be removed? Say a visa on arrival for the US businessmen, so that
Thank you very much. With that, we come to the end of this program.
The Prime Minister is scheduled to speak on Saturday the 27th in the morning. He's the sixth speaker, so we expect his speech would be around 10:30 in the morning. The issues of importance for India have been already highlighted, and we have circulated a note to the rest of the UN members.
perhaps in India there has been a great amount of buzz about this fact that how Prime Minister Modi might utilize his visit, perhaps as an indicator or the kind of atmosphere which is building. Where are we? How far away are we from, say, a reform in the UN process, especially since the last one was way back in the 60s?
Yes, in fact, we can build on what happened in 1963. The fact that there are a large number of countries who are not represented in the United Nations today, but who can play a very important role in giving credibility and substance to the United Nations, is one of the reasons why India has staked a claim to be a permanent member of an expanded and reformed Security Council. Without effective Security Council, the current crisis that is mushrooming all over the world will act as a big deterrent to growth, stability and development.